Hi everyone, and welcome to the Pass the Time Players. My name is Debbie, and last night I began reading a story that I had written a few years ago called Crystal, a Fairy's Dream. So we're going to continue the story tonight. I hope you enjoyed last night's installment. So let's see what Crystal has in store for us this evening. I snuggled into my bed and tried to fall asleep. It was going to be a long day tomorrow. I tossed and I turned for at least an hour. How was I ever going to get to sleep? I rolled over and stared out the window. I guess counting the stars might help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 301, 302. Oh, this wasn't working. Wait a minute. What was that outside the window? I jumped up out of my bed to get a closer look. Where was it? I scanned the sky searching. There it was again. A glittering flash of light, and then it was gone. What was it? I've never seen anything like it. I glistened, and then there were sparkles of every color dancing in the sky. There it was again. I waited. I stared. Nothing. Maybe I saw it over to the right where the glistening forest is. I squinted to help me look into the darkness. Again, nothing. Was I going crazy? I know I saw something. Maybe if I just rest my head here against the frame of the window on the floor, I can stay awake and see whatever it was, if it showed up again tonight. Well, the next thing I knew, the sun was streaming in the window. Birds were singing to welcome the new day. I stretched stiff from sleeping on the floor. Then reality hit me. Oh no, I'm going to be late. What was I thinking? Why did I sleep on the floor? Oh, what was I looking out the window to see? I probably imagined it because I was so tired, and now I've ruined my chances at the dream I have. Oh, was I crazy? Miss Sparkle was going to cut me from the class before I even got a chance to show her how great I could be. Oh, this is typical of me. I have big dreams, huge dreams. But when it comes to making these dreams come true, oh, who was I kidding? Something always happens. I mean, look at yesterday. I was polite. I was on time. And what happened? I get tangled in the trees within 5 minutes of being in the room. Oh, I'm such a joke. I have so much of a chance of getting into that dance company as one of the rabbits in the glistening forest. I started to crawl back into my bed, but then a thought hit me. Wait a minute, Crystal. You are no quitter. I sprang to my feet. I was determined. I was going to make that troop. So I threw on my clothes and flew full speed out the door and just barely cleared the group of older fairies setting up for their morning get-together. Sorry, I called over my shoulder and continued on my way. I could make it. If I took the shortcut through the center of the village, I still had 5 minutes to get to class. Oh, I'm going to get there on time. I am not going to get hung up today. I could feel it inside. This was going to be my day. I flew as fast as I possibly could fly. I could see the academy in the distance. Miss Sparkle was standing alongside the door as my other classmates made their way into the classroom. Oh, I'm almost there, almost there. Steady, steady. Not too fast, or you won't be able to make a graceful landing, and that was very important if I was going to impress Miss Sparkle. My head was telling me to slow down, but for some reason, my wings were telling me to fly faster. The front door was approaching too quickly. Too quickly! If I didn't slow down, I was going to crash! I slammed into the side of the door frame just inches from Miss Sparkle. Everyone, and I mean everyone, came flying over out the door to see the commotion. As I laid sprawled on the ground outside the front door, I could hear everyone laughing. I thought to myself, oh no, not again. Why do these things keep happening to me? Class, everyone inside now. It was Miss Sparkle. I wanted to just lay there and die. Again, I was the center of attention, and not because I had just done a perfect pirouette or flew effortlessly from branch to branch. No, I was the center of attention because I was clumsy. I'm just a loser. I'd never be good enough to make the glistening fairies. Oh, I was probably destined to be a tooth fairy. Oh, not that there's anything wrong with the tooth fairies. I mean, it's a very noble job. I'm sure it's very rewarding giving children gifts without being seen and exchanging for tiny teeth. But it just isn't the same. I was so disappointed and once again embarrassed. You would think I'd be used to it by now. Something embarrassing seemed to happen to me every day. It was my way of life. Are you all right, dear? It was Miss Sparkle. She was helping me to my feet. I couldn't even speak. I just nodded my head up and down and stared at the door. Take a minute to gather your wits about you, then come into class. I've saved the branch next to me just for you. See you in a few minutes. And with that, she smiled and flew into the room. What had just happened? I know I was late and I was flying probably way too fast, but my rings had never done what they did just a few minutes ago. I could always get them to slow down. Why did they just keep going like that? It was really strange, but I had no time to think about it. I had to summon every ounce of courage. I had to fly through that doorway and get onto my branch without another incident. I thought this day would be different, but it seems like it's just going to be another typical day for Crystal. If something weird can happen to me, it will. I can always count on that. But I decided to try, and so that's exactly what I did. I flew confidently to my branch. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was whispering. I guess I was going to be the topic of conversation again today. What else was new? Oh well, at least I made it to class. I was going to work hard and show all of them just what crystal starlight was made of. Miss Sparkle tapped her baton on the podium. All the fairies, especially me, paid close attention to her every instruction. First, it was wing warm-ups. Flutter, 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 pause. Flutter, 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 pause. Over and over again. We had to make sure we were doing it effortlessly and, most importantly, silently. See, any sound could attract a human attention, and attention meant discovery. Now, no fairy wanted to be discovered. We needed to silently fly to our places and land. Shh, not a sound. We first practiced our fluttering on our own branches. After what seemed like hours, Miss Sparkle said we were going to try it in flight. First, it was the experienced dance troupe fairies from last year. Tap, 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 went Miss Sparkle's baton, and all of a sudden, the room was filled with dancing fairies, twisting, turning, spinning from branch to branch. It was the most amazing sight. And just think, this was inside a dance academy room. What could it possibly look like in the glistening forest? Oh, it took my breath away. How beautiful. They were so graceful and not a sound was made. How did they do that? The troupe all landed effortlessly on their original branches. All of the new fairies, including myself, burst into applause and cheers. Even though each one of us hoped to make the troupe, you couldn't deny these fairies were incredible. It was going to be a very hard job to secure a place in this dance company, but I had every intention to do just that. Now it was time for the newcomers to give it a try. Tap, tap, tap went the baton, and up, up, up we all went, all the new fairies. We flew to the top of the room, circled around, darting back and forth among each other, and then flew back to our own branches. I landed as silently as possible on my pine needles, making sure I didn't get tangled. I was never going to let that happen again. Very fine for a first try, said Miss Sparkle. Now for something a little more challenging, would each past dancer please team up with the new dancer? Go ahead, new fairies. You stay where you are, and experienced fairies fly to a branch and share it with your new partner. I think we'll stop there for the night. Thank you for joining me. I wonder whose partner Crystal is going to be. Or maybe, is anyone going to pick her at all? You'll have to tune back in tomorrow. I'll be back on at around 7:15 on the Pass the Time Players page. I hope you'll come back and see how Crystal is doing. And until then, keep in mind, on the Pass the Time Players page, we have tons of videos. I believe we have recorded 28 different stories. So if you've missed any of them, take this time to go back and see some of our already recorded stories and come back tomorrow night to continue with Crystal, A Fairy's Dream. Have a great night. Bye.